The shocking revelation in The Young and the Restless, a truth that will tear Victor apart in the world of The Young and the Restless, a revelation is about to shatter everything. A long-held secret, buried deep in the past, is finally brought to light, and it will leave Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, reeling. The news that Adam, Mark Grossman, is not actually Victor's biological son is set to send shockwaves through the Newman family, triggering a chain of events that will test loyalties, relationships, and identities. For years, Victor has treated Adam as his own flesh and blood, fighting for him, protecting him, and loving him in his own unique, sometimes twisted way. The father-son bond between them seemed unbreakable, even though their relationship has always been fraught with tension, betrayal, and the occasional explosive confrontation. Adam, for all his flaws and mistakes, has long believed in his connection to Victor, seeing him as the father figure who shaped his destiny. But what if everything he thought he knew about himself was a lie? What if his entire life had been built on a foundation of deceit? The truth comes to light through none other than Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, Victor's wife, and the woman who has always been the moral compass of the Newman family, even when the world around them was falling apart. In a moment of vulnerability, Nikki reveals a devastating secret: Adam is not Victor's biological son. The shock of this revelation rocks the entire Newman empire, and no one is more affected than Victor himself. The heartbreaking impact on Victor's world is upended. The man who has spent decades building an empire with his blood, sweat, and tears suddenly finds himself questioning everything he thought he knew about his family. His heartache is palpable, as he grapples with the realization that his son, the one he considered the heir to his empire, is not his biological child. The betrayal he feels runs deep. How could Nikki have kept such a monumental secret from him for so long? Victor's love for Adam was genuine. His belief in Adam's potential was unwavering, even in the face of the many times Adam had pushed him away or gone rogue. But this truth forces Victor to reckon with a harsh reality: Adam, the one person he hoped would carry on his legacy, might not be the person he thought he was. The revelation shakes Victor to his core, and it will take more than just time to heal the wounds that have been inflicted on him. Victor's reaction to the news is not just one of disbelief but of anguish. As the patriarch of the Newman family, he has always taken great pride in his children, especially Adam, whom he had raised as his own. Now, this truth threatens to unravel everything he has worked for. What does it mean for his legacy? What does it mean for his other children, Nikki, and the rest of the Newman family? Adam's shocking discovery: for Adam, the revelation that he is not Victor's biological son sends him into a tailspin. He has spent his entire life trying to earn Victor's approval, believing that he was the natural heir to the Newman fortune. To learn that he is not blood-related to the man who has been his father figure for so long is a blow that no one could have prepared him for. But the news also leaves Adam with many questions. If Victor is not his father, then who is? Adam's mind races as he tries to process the truth. What does this mean for his own identity? The question of who his real father is now looms large, and it's a question that Adam is determined to answer. The search for Adam's biological father will become one of the central storylines in the coming weeks. As Adam begins to investigate his past, he will uncover a trail of secrets and lies that leads him to new revelations about his parentage. Will the truth about his biological father be just as shocking as the news that Victor is not his real dad? And, more importantly, what will it mean for Adam's future? Nikki's role in this storyline is pivotal. As the one who has held the secret for so long, she now finds herself in a precarious position. On one hand, she is torn by the love she has for Victor and the family she has built with him. On the other, she carries the weight of this secret, one that has the power to destroy everything she and Victor have fought for. As Victor processes the news, Nikki will have to navigate the fallout from her revelation. Was it the right time to tell Victor the truth? Could she have kept the secret longer? These are questions that will haunt her, and the emotional toll will take its toll on her marriage to Victor. While she loves Victor deeply, she knows that this truth could change everything between them. But Nikki also understands that the truth can no longer be ignored. She must face the consequences of her actions, no matter how devastating they may be. What comes next? The road ahead for the Newman family is uncertain. Adam's quest to find his biological father will only deepen the mystery and bring about more secrets from the past. There are likely other revelations waiting to be uncovered, ones that will forever change the dynamics of the Newman family. For Victor, the loss of his son, whether biological or not, is a painful one. But as the dust settles, he must confront his own emotions. Does he still consider Adam his son, despite the absence of blood ties? Or will this revelation cause him to sever all ties with Adam, leaving him to deal with the fallout on his own? For Adam, the truth sets him on a path of self-discovery. Will he find comfort in the truth, or will it send him spiraling into an even deeper identity crisis? His relationship with Victor may never be the same, but Adam's journey will undoubtedly lead him to new allies and enemies as he navigates this uncharted territory. And for Nikki, the consequences of her actions are far from over. As she tries to repair her relationship with Victor, she will also have to face the repercussions of her decision to keep such a monumental secret. The Newman family is on the brink of a major transformation, and nothing will ever be the same again. A shocking and unpredictable future. This revelation will set in motion a new era for the young and the restless, one filled with twists, betrayals, and emotional turmoil. Secrets that have been buried for years are coming to the surface, and the fallout will be felt by everyone in Genoa City. As the drama unfolds, viewers will be left on the edge of their seats, wondering what other secrets are yet to be revealed. The truth about Adam's parentage is just the beginning. What other surprises does the past hold for the Newman family? And how will this revelation shape the future of the show? Fans of The Young and the Restless will not want to miss a moment of this explosive storyline, as the truth finally comes out and the stakes have never been higher. The shocking twists and turns in this story are far from over. Keep watching to see how the truth unfolds and how it will ultimately reshape the lives of everyone involved. Victor Newman. A monster unleashed in The Young and the Restless. Victor Newman, the once revered patriarch of the Newman family, has recently transformed into something unrecognizable, a monster driven by wrath, manipulation, and the hunger for control. What happened to the man who once held his family together with unyielding determination and a strategic mind? Where did the calm, measured Victor go, the one who could command respect without raising his voice? As the layers of this beloved character unravel, one question stands out: does Victor need to curb his rage, or has he crossed a line from which there is no return? The evolution of Victor's rage. Victor has always been a force to be reckoned with, but his recent transformation into an unpredictable, volatile figure has raised eyebrows. Throughout the years, his commanding presence, unrelenting ambition, and relentless pursuit of power have made him a fearsome character in Genoa City. But where once there was calm calculation, now there is only stormy fury. The anger that once simmered beneath the surface has now overtaken him, and those closest to him, his family, business partners, and allies, are starting to feel the burn. Victor's outbursts have become more frequent, more intense, and increasingly hard to control. The man who once exercised a sense of diplomacy and measured responses now seems consumed by his own bitterness. He no longer hesitates to show his wrath, whether it's at family gatherings or boardroom meetings. The once imposing figure who would command the room with a glance now uses threats as a primary tool to assert dominance. The power plays, the sabotage, and the endless emotional manipulation that have always been part of Victor's character have reached an unprecedented level. But now, these tactics are starting to unravel the very things he once sought to protect. His soft side, the one that cared deeply for his children and sought reconciliation when things went awry, seems to have vanished. Where he once found moments of peace in his relationship with Nikki, now there is only conflict. His aggression toward those around him, particularly Nikki, has become unbearable. It's almost as if Victor has become a different person altogether, a man who has traded his integrity for raw power and control. But is this new Victor really him, or just a version of himself that is slowly consuming him from the inside out? Victor's conflict with Nikki, an empire at stake. It's clear that the most recent storm in Victor's life revolves around Nikki, the woman he once trusted above all others. But now, Nikki is a constant point of contention. The mounting tension between them has escalated to the point where the future of their relationship, and the entire Newman empire, is at risk. Victor's growing frustration with Nikki has reached a boiling point. Their once loving bond has become strained, largely due to her growing independence and defiance. Victor's obsessive need to control every aspect of their lives has left Nikki feeling suffocated. And her recent decisions, particularly her involvement with another man, have sent Victor into a fit of rage. His overwhelming need to maintain his grip on power and control over Nikki has begun to blur the lines of their relationship. Victor has always been possessive, but in recent weeks, that possessiveness has transformed into something darker. He cannot stand the idea of Nikki being with anyone other than him, and his actions have grown more desperate as he tries to regain her loyalty. Whether it's issuing threats, playing mind games, or using emotional blackmail, Victor will stop at nothing to ensure that Nikki remains under his thumb. The consequences of his actions are beginning to ripple outward, affecting not only his marriage but also his relationships with his children and the entire Newman legacy. Adam's shattering realization. The truth about his parentage amidst all of this turmoil, the revelation that has shaken the Newman family to its core, is Adam's discovery that he is not Victor's biological son. This truth, buried for so long, is now a jagged piece of reality that Adam must confront. For years, Adam believed that Victor was the father who had shaped him, loved him, and helped him navigate the world. But now, that foundation has been ripped away, leaving Adam reeling and questioning everything he thought he knew about his identity. The revelation comes at a time when Adam is already struggling to reconcile his place within the Newman family. His father's increasing rage, coupled with the pressure to live up to Victor's expectations, has left Adam emotionally shattered. But this new truth cuts deeper than anything he's faced before. His entire life, his career, his relationships. Everything he believed about himself was built on a lie. How could he have been so wrong? How could Victor, the man he trusted most, have kept this secret from him for so long? Adam's world is turned upside down, and he cannot help but wonder, who is his real father? And what does this mean for his future? His ties to the Newman family have always been complicated, but this revelation might be the final straw that separates him from Victor forever. Will Adam be forced to walk away from the family he thought he was a part of? Or will he find a way to reconcile with his father, despite the betrayal? Victor's wrath, will he disown Adam? As if the revelation of Adam's true parentage isn't enough to shake the Newman family to its foundations, the question of whether Victor will disown Adam hangs in the air like a dark cloud. For years, Victor has treated Adam as his son, but now, with this new truth in play, everything is up for grabs. Victor's anger toward Adam is already palpable, and the emotional fallout from this revelation will only fuel the fire. Will Victor cast Adam aside like an unwanted pawn, or will he find it in himself to forgive his son for the truth that was kept hidden for so long? The answer to this question will determine not only Adam's future but the future of the entire Newman legacy. It's clear that Victor will not take this betrayal lightly. He has always held his family to impossibly high standards, and Adam's position as his heir was no exception. The realization that Adam is not his flesh and blood could very well be the tipping point for Victor, pushing him to make a decision that will irrevocably change their relationship. Adam has already spent a lifetime trying to earn Victor's love and approval. Will this truth finally drive them apart, or will it serve as a catalyst for a new chapter in their strained relationship? The family in turmoil as Victor and Adam struggle to navigate this seismic shift in their relationship. The rest of the Newman family is left to pick up the pieces. Nikki, who has always been the glue holding the family together, is caught between the conflicting forces of her love for Victor and her desire for independence. Meanwhile, Victor's other children, Victoria, Nicholas, and Abby, are left to witness the unraveling of the man they once revered. The Newman family has always been a symbol of power, wealth, and ambition. But with Victor's rage consuming him, and Adam's shocking revelation about his parentage, the empire they've built is in jeopardy. The once unbreakable bonds of this family are now being tested, and the consequences of these revelations will be felt for years to come. A monster unleashed. Is there any redemption for Victor? Victor Newman has always been a man of extremes. But in recent months, it seems as though the extreme has become his default. His rage, once contained within a cold and calculated exterior, is now spilling out in ways that no one can predict. The man who once commanded respect through reason and intellect is now a shadow of his former self, consumed by anger and a desperate need to maintain control at all costs. As the Newman family is torn apart by secrets, lies, and betrayal, one question remains. Is there any redemption left for Victor Newman? Can he ever return to the man he once was, or has the monster inside him become too powerful to overcome? The answers to these questions are yet to be revealed, but one thing is certain: the road ahead for Victor, Adam, and the Newman family will be one of darkness, fury, and uncertainty. The transformation of Victor Newman from a powerful businessman to a vengeful monster is a journey that will leave viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering if there's any hope left for this broken family. Shocking revelation has been brewing, one that will tear apart the Newman family and shake the very foundation of Victor's empire. The truth, long buried and hidden, is finally coming to light, and it will not only destroy relationships but also force Adam to confront a question he never thought he'd have to ask: who is my real father? Victor Newman, the patriarch of the Newman family, has always been a character defined by strength, cunning, and an unyielding desire for control. But recently, there has been a noticeable shift. The man who once commanded respect through his calm demeanor and sharp intellect has begun to unravel. No longer the balanced, composed leader of the Newman family, Victor's rage and impulsive outbursts have taken over, turning him into a terrifying force, almost a monster in his own right. But will this newfound fury lead to his downfall, or will he be able to regain control before it's too late? A shattering revelation: the truth that has been buried for so long is about to shatter Adam's world. After years of believing that Victor was his biological father, Adam is hit with a revelation that shakes him to his core: he is not Victor's son. The man who has been his father figure, mentor, and the person Adam thought he could trust above all others is not his flesh and blood. This revelation leaves Adam stunned, unable to comprehend the scope of what he has just learned. The questions immediately flood his mind: who am I? Where do I come from? And most importantly, who is my real father? Adam has spent his entire life in the shadow of Victor, constantly striving for his approval, constantly caught in the tug-of-war between his own desires and Victor's expectations. Now, with the truth revealed, Adam is left questioning everything he has ever known about himself. His identity, once so secure, is now in ruins. The man who had always considered Victor to be his father, his protector, his guide, is now just a stranger to him. The bombshell leaves Adam in a state of panic, as he grapples with the new reality that his entire life has been built on a lie. And as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that Adam's search for answers will lead him down a dark and treacherous path, one that could uncover even more devastating truths. Victor's monster within. While Adam is reeling from the revelation about his parentage, Victor is struggling with the impact this truth has on him. For Victor, this is not just about the loss of a son, it is a personal betrayal. He has always treated Adam as his own flesh and blood, and the idea that his son is not actually his own cuts deep into the very fabric of his identity. But perhaps even more shocking than the revelation itself is the way Victor responds. The man who has spent years carefully crafting his empire with a steely focus now seems to be losing control. His once balanced demeanor is replaced with a volatile, unpredictable anger that he can no longer contain. It's as if the truth about Adam has pushed him over the edge, causing him to unravel in ways that no one saw coming. His temper has become legendary, and it's no longer confined to boardrooms or family dinners. It spills into every aspect of his life, consuming him like a wildfire. As Victor's world falls apart, one question remains: can he find redemption? Can he regain control of his empire, his family, and his life, or has he become the monster he's always feared? The once great Victor Newman is now a man on the edge, and the future of the Newman family hangs in the balance. Will he rise from the ashes of his own destruction, or will he become a shadow of the man he once was? The answers to these questions will shape the future of the young and the restless. As the Newman family grapples with the fallout from the shocking revelations, viewers are left to wonder, will Victor's rage consume him, or will he find a way to rise above it all? One thing is certain, the road ahead will be filled with twists, betrayals, and emotional reckoning. And in the world of Genoa City, no one's future is ever truly secure.